does the expulsion of Mnangagwa mean to Zanu-PF? Is President Mugabe paving the way for First Lady Grace Mugabe to take over as president? And how is the expulsion of Mnangagwa likely to impact peace and stability in Zimbabwe? What do the general elections of 2018 hold for the people of Zimbabwe? What time is it? It's question time. And welcome to the show. My name is Mpho. The Zimbabwean succession race took a nasty turn earlier this week after President Robert Mugabe fired his vice president and longtime right-hand man, Emmerson Mnangagwa. As if that was not enough, the Zanu-PF Politburo expelled Mnangagwa from the party. And Mnangagwa's future has been on the spotlight since he took over from Joice Mujuru, who was also shown the door by President Mugabe. In reaction, Mnangagwa, who is said to be outside Zimbabwe, issued a statement saying, "I am not going anywhere. Zanu-PF is not your personal property," close quote, referring to President Mugabe. In retaliation, the Zimbabwe Liberation War Veterans Association also expelled fellow veteran Robert Mugabe with immediate effect, calling him deceitful and a poster boy for the British South African company. These latest developments are believed to be triggered by jostling for positions for the upcoming Zanu-PF party conference. First Lady Grace Mugabe is tipped as the likely successor to the Zimbabwean leader. The country is due to hold its general elections next year. We are live, therefore you can call us and air your views. The number to dial is 089-1104-210. Our international number +2789 1104-210. Or you can tweet us your comments at question time 24. My guest today is Zak Homu. He's a producer for Spotlight Africa on Channel Africa, and Courage Mangwiro is an independent political analyst. Well, we'll see how independent his analysis is, but this is question time. But before we get into today's program, we're going to take a quick break. When we return, please keep those calls on the line, 089-1104-210. If you're outside, +2789 1104-210. Question time shall return shortly. Don't go away.
Zwelini Lawrence Mkhize obtained his medical doctorate at the University of Zululand and practiced in Pietermaritzburg. Former MEC of Health, MEC for Finance and Economic Development in KwaZulu-Natal, former Premier of KwaZulu-Natal from 2009 to 2013. He initiated Operation Sukuma Sakhe, the One Home, One Garden program, which was adopted nationwide by government. Dr. Zweli Mkhize served as the Chancellor of the University of KwaZulu-Natal until 2017.
Using the advantage of knowledge and information to promote positive change in society at large.
He is the current Treasurer General of the African National Congress.
Out of the economy, we believe that our economy needs to deliver for us three things. One, there must be growth. Two, there must be jobs, job creation. Three, there must be radical economic transformation. And only a united African National Congress will be able to deliver on those where there's an undivided focus on the issue which is most topical and most relevant for this epoch, and that is the economic transformation in our country.
Dr. Zweli Mkhize stands for unity.
Welcome back indeed. This is still question time. You're watching my guest, like I said, Isaac Homu and Courage Manguro. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. It's happening, Tati Homu, in Zimbabwe. The old man uses SK Moyo to deliver the message.
Well, yes, the old man is really, is senile basically. And basically is long supposed to have gone out, but I mean to say that you find that there is a constituency within the ruling clique which wants to put him there. And what it actually shows that the center of power within Zanu-PF, it's actually weak, and there are signs that it's going to implode. Yeah.
So what do we do as observers now? You have Zanu-PF says, good, President expelled Mnangagwa. We are also expelling him. Then the war vets say, good, we are expelling Mugabe. And the other guys, the G40 as they are called.
Well, that shows what it is. I mean, that's the thing we've been talking about for a long time, that there are divisions within the ruling PF party. Yeah. Yeah. And it actually shows now that they have been used to actually expelling people. I think there's a time when we had reports from people inside of Zanu-PF who said that if you take count, you'll find that over 100-something MPs of Zanu-PF have been expelled from the party. Former generals have been expelled from the party. Yeah. Yeah. So that thing is a long time coming. And not only that, if you look at what has been happening to Zanu-PF, you look at the demise of Solomon Mujuru, when he was eliminated. Yes. You know, Solomon Mujuru was eliminated. It's a sad thing, but there's not much hula-baloo within the central ruling party. But this time, with the expulsion of Mnangagwa, you find that there are generals who actually came up and said that thing will never happen. Yes. Yeah, and there's a strong report which cannot be verified, which says that the army generals, certain army generals actually went to Mugabe when he expelled him as his vice president and said that they do not accept that. Yeah? That was before he was expelled from the party. And they actually talked about, I mean, they supported Mnangagwa. And when he was expelled from the party, that's when I think he saw that it's best for him to run away, because there's a very big constituency which wants him back. And that constituency which does not want him will only have one alternative: to eliminate him physically. And I think that's what actually made him come out of the country.
Well, Courage, the former vice president says, I'm going nowhere. Zanu-PF is not your personal property, Mugabe.
Yes, indeed. We have received those reports, and what we should remember is that His Excellency President Robert Mugabe, as the head of state, is mandated by the constitution of the Zimbabwe African National Union Patriotic Front, correct, in his capacity to appoint and disappoint vice presidents, and indeed he did that in that capacity, and so the vice president knows what to do next if ever he feels hard done by. Now, the situation that is in the country right now is being actually analyzed in very different ways by different people according to their political affiliation or their stand within the ruling party. I cannot call it factionalism or the downfall of Zanu-PF, but just different ideas. But we are all guided by the constitution of Zimbabwe. I mean, the constitution of Zanu-PF, and everyone is going to obey that constitution to ensure that everything goes on smoothly and there is degeneration into some kind of chaos and everything. So Comrade Mnangagwa, as a Zimbabwean, is protected by apparatus that are put in Zimbabwe. I mean, my colleague has alluded to him being unsafe in Zimbabwe. Yeah. He is quite safe according to me, and so if he really ran away, because he's fearing for his life, it's something else. We have people that have been expelled in different capacities and they have not run away from Zimbabwe. Yeah, but you also have people who have not been expelled, who have disappeared. I can give an example of Dr. Joice Mujuru. Yes. We never heard of running away or whatever. She is still in Zimbabwe because there's that protection. Under heavy security. there's still that protection for her in a capacity as the former vice president. The people who have disappeared, people disappear everywhere anyway. In South Africa, how many people disappear and they are not even traced? Examples of people who disappear, like your Patrick Zamara, I don't know his first name. Investigations have been, made to try and find where exactly he is. We wouldn't want any one Zimbabwean to go missing without us knowing where exactly they are. So these are just maybe speculations around those people who would have been lost, to say maybe Zanu-PF has to answer to where they are. The police are busy also looking for where he is. If people know, if people have information of where he is, they could go to the ZRP and they would have done a very good job. So let's not blow it out of proportion.
All right, let's take Spuso. Spuso, you're in the Free State. Welcome.
Ndawuyando.
Enda.
Barman.
Hari, Honorable Sangwe Busbu.
Good.
Linde.
Yes, I think Robert Mugabe has made the biggest mistake of his life in the past 37 years he's been in power. I'm of the view that he shouldn't have chased Mnangagwa, taking into account that they've been together, I think, since from 1977, which is 40 years. I mean, really, who in proper senses would chase or get rid of someone of that nature who has amassed such political richness of the state? And we read now and then that Mnangagwa was responsible for the creation of the Zimbabwe Defense Force, your CIO, that is Central Intelligence Organizations, and so on. Really, Mnangagwa is a guy who is very much knowledgeable of the ins and outs of what is happening in Harare.
Okay.
To such an extent that even the power that Mugabe is having today can somehow be attributed to the engineering of Mnangagwa himself. So I don't think it's a good move. So what I'm seeing here is that the old man is trying to create a Mugabe dynasty in Zimbabwe, which is completely wrong in a republic, in a democratic republic like they are claiming. So I would say, I would challenge all the Zimbabweans to really stand up and challenge the old man. Really, this is, for a lack of a better word, this is complete nonsense, what he has done. They have to stand up. I mean, Zimbabweans are known of Zimbabwe is known of being a nation that has got the high literacy rate, meaning that the education there plays the role. Really, it's time for all Zimbabweans to stand up, showing that the education that they are priding themselves of, they are not just the pushovers. Okay. You get what I'm saying?
So, thank you very much for that call. Well, he says it's nonsense what the president has done. Courage doesn't think that there's anything wrong.
Well, Courage is talking about the constitutionality of the change.
Yeah,
within
legal.
The party. It's constitutional. I mean, to say that there's nothing about that. But then, what you're talking about, I mean, I'm not going to say that who's right, who's wrong. I'm just going to say that what the whole modus operandi or what is happening there, what does it actually tell the people? See that there's very deep divisions within the movement.
Yes.
And that's the thing that we should all agree to.
No, I don't think Courage agrees.
Well, there may be differences. If you speak of the terminology division, to me, reflects some kind of factionalism, where you have a smaller group getting out of this bigger group. We haven't had that in Zanu-PF. We've never seen that in Zanu-PF actually. We have seen like differences that you could call a situation that is quite normal in any political organization.
Okay, let's take this call. Albert is calling us from Lusaka in Zambia. Albert, welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Albert.
Great. Thank you for a very lovely program, right?
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. So I see this from quite a very sort of different angle, and I think the bigger problem here is we are spending a lot of time discussing Zanu-PF internal issues, and and forgetting that the bigger issue is the Zimbabwe population. I think what is happening in Zanu-PF, of course, would affect the population, but I think it also sort of drives the population away from the fact that we have elections next year, and we have a party that has destroyed the country in 37 years. That is really, well, they are a cannibalistic party that is eating its own children. And I think as people and as society as a whole, we should see what they are out there for. I mean, Mr. Mnangagwa says he thinks the vice president is very safe and all that. But we've seen people being beaten by Zanu-PF. We've seen people disappearing, like you said. And I think we need to be human about this and not take everything as a political statement. We need to look out for our country. We need to look out for our people. And it pains me to see people concentrating on Mnangagwa, who has been part of the system, who has contributed to the suffering of people in Zimbabwe, who has contributed to the killing of people in Matabeleland. And now we want people to feel sorry for that man. I think it's really stretching it. And it pains me that there are people like Mnangagwa that obviously it's a democracy, but I think we need to think beyond our own stomachs and think above that and think for the country.
Albert, thank you very much, Albert, calling us from Lusaka there.
I just want to make one point. I mean to say calling differences, differences, I mean to say that it's very funny. Because, I mean, so if there are differences, will differences actually sort of warrant people being expelled from the party? And it's not one person, it's many persons. Expulsion is actually a person from a party is purging the person. And purging the person is getting rid of him simply because that there are very strong divisions, irreconcilable divisions. And that's what it's all about.
When Mujiba Nachimbudo says, we are done with you, RG, that's a problem, Courage.
Right, we did not have this as an official statement that came from our national war veterans. Remember that this statement came from quarters of the organization as just sentiments that were aired by those individual war veterans who have the right to say out their feelings and stuff like that. But remember, like I alluded to initially, this was done in line with the Constitution. And the person who is being...
But we're talking politics here. And I would expect you to come to that level where we're saying we're talking politics now. We're not talking the Constitution. The Constitution says RG can reshuffle the cabinet as many times as he wishes. But what we are saying is, what are the reasons behind the expulsion of Mnangagwa?
Right. The reasons behind the expulsion of Comrade Mnangagwa are, amongst others, the fact that there are reports that he has been not loyal, and some of the things that he was doing were not in line with what he was supposed to do. So those are the charges, and so that were leveled against him. So what is going to happen now that he has been expelled from the party? Like I said, if he wants to challenge that, he will do that. So we cannot say politically it means that he has been sidelined in order to make way for whosoever.
That's what it means.
That's just an opinion. Because I'll tell you right now that the next vice president of Zimbabwe or the next president of Zimbabwe is going to be determined by the majority of Zimbabweans, as it has always been. So there is no chance for families grabbing high positions or whatever. It won't happen in Zimbabwe.
So Mrs. Mugabe is not the coming president of Zimbabwe.
Well, why don't we wait for the forthcoming December elective conference, where our 10 provinces are going to finalize on that and have their say. Okay. She is a Zimbabwean, and she qualifies in whatever position, and so the people are the ones that are going to have a final say.
Okay, let's take Godfrey in Boxburg. Welcome.
Hello, question time. Hello.
Yes, it's Mpo.
Thank you. No, Mr. Mnangagwa. I want to speak to Mr. Mnangagwa. Mr. Mnangagwa, you sound very independent, but he is not very that independent. I'm sorry to say that. You know what, Mr. Mnangagwa? As you know, you're saying about the Constitution, and you are saying about the December conference. It's now clearly that The madam is going to be becoming the president right now, and there's nothing to ask about that. On Mr. Mnangagwa's issue, now he has got the taste of his own medicine. He has been shouting all along about these guys who have been chased out from the Zanu-PF, and he's been celebrating about it. Now it's his turn. Now he should feel it. As you can see now, there are a lot of Zimbabweans here in South Africa. They are suffering, and now he's supposed also to suffer the same consequences. And now we hope he doesn't be given the diplomatic treatment, so that he can to the masses and also face what everyone is facing right now. And now what I can say is, this is the beginning of the end of this party. I tell you, because now everyone doesn't have confidence in them, and we can't let them do the Mugabe dynasty while we are just watching like this. I don't think it can work.
Godfrey, you're saying, well, this is the end of Zanu-PF. What is it that you're going to do to ensure that it is the end?
Personally, I won't do anything, but the Zanu-PF supporters, now they are now divided, because all along we were seeing divisions in the MDC, but now we are now seeing divisions in the Zanu-PF. What do you think Mnangagwa's supporters will do? That guy has good supporters. We all know that. He was supported. So what will those guys do?
Okay. Thanks, Godfrey.
You know, I mean to say that my fellow guest here actually alluded to the reasons for Mr. Mnangagwa being chased out. But I would actually sort of like to go back to Arthur Mtambara. Arthur Mtambara was in the country about 2 months ago, where he was actually launching his book. And in his launch, people asked him about the politics of Zimbabwe. He tried to avoid it, but eventually was trapped. And he said that basically the opposition in Zimbabwe is highly divided, and it's due to people vying for power. It's a matter of power sharing. But he said that to the point that now the Western countries were actually looking for prospective leaders within the Zanu-PF. And he actually mentioned that right now that the British were actually looking at Mnangagwa as being the possible leader, and they're actually talking to him. So you find that even in the talk which is coming out, the accusation against Emmerson Mnangagwa is this, that he's actually sort of betraying the central body of the Zanu-PF. And I think there is reality in what Arthur Mtambara told us, that actually he was negotiating with Western countries on the way forward. He had assumed that he was going to come up to be the candidate for the presidential, and he was actually trying to have a working program.
Okay.
Yeah, so that may have leaked.
All right, let's just quickly go to Botswana. Fled, welcome.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well, thanks for the call.
I'd just like to make a small contribution in regards with one of your guests, Mr. Mangwiro.
Yes.
Yes, I don't know which Zimbabwe Mr. Mangwiro is analyzing, but I'll tell you, everybody in Zimbabwe knows what's been going on from as far back as the early 80s when Mnangagwa was involved in Kukurahundi, and now with the leading to his firing, everybody knows it's paving way for the first lady to become the next president. So I don't know which Zimbabwe is analyzing, but anybody in the street in Zimbabwe who has been in Zimbabwe or read about Zimbabwe, it is clear, crystal clear. So Mr. Mangwiro, I guess, is just one of the artists who have been put there, because there are many of them who are posing as independent analysts and whatnot, trying to garner this whole thing to pave way for the lady. But we are okay with it. We are waiting for the next move. We are certain that something will change.
Thank you very much for the courage. Which Zimbabwe are you analyzing?
I'm indeed analyzing my Zimbabwe, the Zimbabwe that you know. You know the neighbors. Now, Mr. Nkomo spoke about, I don't know, did you say Britain having an interest in a certain political individual in the country? Arthur Mtambara, Professor Mtambara was actually talking nonsense, because at the end of the day, it's the people of Zimbabwe who are going to, it's not Britain that votes in Zimbabwe. So let's all know that people may say anything anywhere where they are, but at the end of the day, it is the people of Zimbabwe that are going to take a final say, who have the franchise to choose their leaders. So this issue that now that we're facing of Comrade Mnangagwa is going to end up in a situation where you're going to see that, no, at the end of the day, Zimbabweans are the ones who are going to be the winners.
All right, the elections are what, next year?
Indeed, next year, yes.
So you are going to vote for a 95-year-old man to rule Zimbabwe?
We have resolved that President Mugabe is our candidate who we are going to vote for, and indeed, I'm going to vote for President Robert Mugabe.
95-year-old?
95 years, yes.
Okay. Well, that was Courage Mangwiro, our independent.